What's good, everybody? It's your boy, DQ. We're back with another video. It is officially March Madness season. The women's tournament officially starts tonight with the first four matchups. Nebraska takes on Richmond, and then there's a 16-16 matchup that I can't remember off the top of my head. But this video is specifically about players, and not every player, because there's a lot of players that I've discussed throughout the year that most of us, I don't want to say should know, but have, like the ones that are nationally known, nationally talked about, aren't necessarily going to be the conversation in this specific video. And the title of the video is going to make people feel like, okay, well, this player should still be in there regardless. I don't necessarily disagree with that. These are the players that I feel are tourney made. Like their game, their style of play is going to translate to this kind of single elimination, win or go home type of situation. Obviously, there are players like Michaela Blakes and Sarah Strong and Audie Crooks and Talia Scott and Jelani Cambridge, Lauren Betts, Gianna Neepkins, Raven Johnson, Joyce Edwards, Tessa Johnson, like the list goes on. Flaw J, Malaysia, like the list goes on and on. Madison Booker, Rory Harmon, whoever. This one is more specific to the players that have been phenomenal all season and haven't really gotten the conversation just because they don't really play on national TV. And they're mostly all at mid-majors. I mean, yeah, they're all at mid-majors, so that's another reason for why they don't get talked about as much. And there are a few players that I wish were able to get in so that we could have conversations about them. Like I wish North Dakota State could have gotten in so we could have talked about Avery Conan. Great defender and a great scorer, really good rebounder, super efficient. Same with Riley Weiss. It's tough with some of these conferences because you're really only going to get one team, unless that team is like, unless that team is like almost undefeated, because North Dakota State only lost 4 games, and I think they beat South Dakota State twice. They just didn't beat them in the conference tournament. So it's kind of tough, when you're in those conferences and you're in those situations of like you have to win your conference to get in, and you have other teams or other conferences that have like 10 teams in. Not to say that those conferences don't deserve 10, but I think you could argue that the 9th or 10th team in a specific conference may not be better than North Dakota State or Columbia. It's just, yeah. So let's get into obvious. I didn't say Olivia Miles or Olivia Olsen or Siler Swords or so many other different players. There's a lot of players that I didn't name. Azzi Fudd, Peyton Verhulst, Sailor. Like, there's a lot of players I didn't name. That's not to say that they aren't tournament made. I think this is just my way of talking about players that we may be introduced to, or you may be introduced to, in these games coming up and things like that, if they are able to move on past their initial games and initial round. Even if they don't, even if they have a great showing in their first game and that's it, you'll hear their name or you'll see them, you'll be like, okay, like I did hear about them, or I did hear about this player. This player did live up to whatever Tariq said. So let's get into it. I'm gonna talk about Maggie Dugan first. Maggie Dugan is a phenomenal basketball player, and not only is she super efficient from the field, she's also super efficient from the three as a 6'2" power forward / center who rebounds the ball well, defends well, is a good passer. She averages 4 assists a game, shoots 40% from 3, 89% from the free throw line. She's staying there 50-49. She's like 0.8% off. She's probably like 2 free throws or 3 free throws made from 50-40-90. And actually, in college, though, the games in the tournament do count towards your stats. So if she goes to the free throw line and goes like 8 for 8, she might be able to get to the 90% mark. But yeah, I mean, for someone of her stature and someone of her caliber, the way that post players are guarded in college when they are pretty dominant, for her to be one of the best 3-point shooters in the country, not even just best shooter, like best players in the country, she's just like one of the best 3-point shooters in the country. I think she makes like 2.8 per game. Let me see. I just saw her. which Rachel Olstrom, who's their teammate, is also on this list. Rachel Olstrom makes 2.8 per game, and then I just saw her name again. I'm losing it because I just seen Megan Anderson. Golly, where did she go? Maggie Dugan. Okay, lost her. That's okay though. But she makes a good amount of threes per game. She was somewhere in the... there she is, 35. She's 35th. Rachel Olstrom is tied for 25th in terms of threes per game, or threes made per game. Maggie Dugan makes 2.7, so damn near the same. And then the percentage, she's top 20. She's top 20 in percentage of 3-point shooters. So, I mean, it's not much more you can ask of a player that is doing all that she does in the post, in the mid range, and also on the perimeter, like out on the 3-point line. I think she hasn't gotten enough credit because obviously she plays at Richmond, so it's not going to be like every game people are tuning into her games. But I think this is another situation, another year where she'll be able to put eyes on, her team and on her program of, just having to, show them the proper respect. Like last year when they played Georgia Tech in the first round, she had 30 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists. They lost to UCLA in the second round. She had 27.6 rebounds, 7 assists. And she was 11 of 18 in both of those games. She made 5 threes in the first game and 3 in the second. And shot 62% from 3 and 43% from 3. So, like, she's made for this. Like, when I say Tourney made, I mean absolutely Tourney made. Like, she's been in these situations. She's been in the tournament multiple years. She played Duke her sophomore year. And I don't think they made it her freshman year. They didn't make her freshman year, but she's made it the last 3 years. And this is a play-in situation. I expect her to go, I don't want to say go crazy, but I expect Maggie Dugan to be Maggie Dugan. And if she is that, it's going to open some, I don't want to say open some eyes because she's a senior, but it's going to make people be like, damn, we got to start paying attention to the mid-majors, which I agree. People do got to start paying attention or more attention to the mid-majors. Because the mid-majors, they play really good basketball out there too, man. Like, I know it's hard. It is hard to keep up with all these different teams and all that. So, and I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, I've caught every single game of the season and things like that. I catch the ones that I'm able to, obviously, but I'm trying to tell y'all, like, Maggie Dugan is as advertised. Like, yeah. Then we'll go to, I got like 6 names up here. Let's go to Brooklyn Meyer. I've talked a little bit about her because they're playing Washington in the first round. I talked about how I've been back and forth on that one, but she's another player that's super efficient from the field. She shoots 64% from the field. She's 22 points, 8 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 2 blocks. Really good defender, really solid defensively, good footwork on the offensive end, and really just gets to whatever she wants. If she has the mid-range jumper, she'll take it. If she doesn't, she'll drive to the rim, either right hand or left hand. Doesn't really matter what side you try to force her to. She's going to make a play. She's good at sealing off and catching the ball and being patient and finishing. Like, she's able to do so many different things on the court as a forward that I think Washington might struggle because, I mean, it's not like they have, the biggest of post players. Now, I do think it's interesting, or like, it will be interesting to see like Bryn McGoy and Brooklyn Meyer match up at some point in the game. But I think another thing for some of these players is like their experience. Like, it's not just like, oh, they've been doing this for however, like they started doing this year. Like, no, Brooklyn Meyer's been doing this for years. Like, she didn't play much in her freshman year when they made it to the tournament, but they played USC and beat them in the first round, and played Virginia Tech in the second round, who was the number 1 seed that year, and I think they went to the Final Four. Yeah, they went to the Final Four that year. They were really close to being in the national championship game too. Her first real time playing in the NCAA tournament, she had 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 9 turnovers in her sophomore season. Last year, she had 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal. 46% shooting against Oklahoma State in the first round in a win, and then played UConn in the second round at 4.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. It was only 2 of 6. But yeah, again, being in those situations, whether you win or lose, whether you play great or you play poorly to your standards, I think being in those situations is really important. It was something that we've seen with Creighton over the last couple of years. Is like when they were put in situation, or when they got to the tournament, they were always a team that you were worried about, because it's like, okay, they definitely have the capability of beating a team like we saw them do a couple years ago with Iowa. So these are the teams that like these kinds of teams that have great players but also have good talent around them. Like, it's not just Brooklyn Meyer. You know what I mean? Like South Dakota State, Fairfield, Richmond, Gonzaga, Murray State, College Charleston. All these teams have really good players around them as well to help them out. And the thing about these players is they understand their roles completely. Like, there's no conversation, there's no confusion of like, okay, this game I need to do this. Like, no, I need to do this every single game, and if I do this every single game, I can help my team win. Like I said, we got Maddie Mathewitz as well. Averages 13 points a game, 40% from 3, 90% from the free throw line, 46% from the field. I mean, when your two seniors, your two top players are efficient and take care of the basketball, understand how important it is to get good shots and not force things, there's a really hard team to stop. You have Mia Castro for Western Illinois. They play, who do they play first round? They play North Carolina, which I think she can have a really good game. She is a senior as well. I don't remember Western Illinois being in any NCAA tournaments before this year, and as I look back, I don't see them in any. They made it her freshman year. She only played 12 minutes at 2 points, 2 rebounds, and a loss to Tennessee, who was the 4 seed that year. If I'm not mistaken, that team would have had Rakia Jackson and Jordan Horston. So, yeah, tough game. But that might have been a different team. That might have been like Ray Burrell. Matter of fact, let me look real quick. Just curious. That was Jordan Horston. That was Jordan Horston, Rakia Jackson, Tess Darby. Okay, no, Ray Burrell. Was Ray Burrell hurt? Or was she already gone? Maybe she was already gone. Justine Passat. But, yeah. Mia Castro's a really good player. She's another player that just gets the shot that she wants. She averages 24 points. We're going to round up, say 10. It's 9.9. We're going to round up. 38% from the 3-point line, like 89% from the field. Like, this is crazy to me. Like, I know the talent and the competition level isn't the same as it is in the Big Ten and the SEC and the Big 12 and all that. But being able to average 25 and 10 almost on 52, 39, 89 shooting splits is just crazy to me. As a 6'2" power forward / center who, on most nights, on every night, is the number one on the scouting report. Like, I think it says a lot about a player that's able to do that night in, night out. And again, she's got help too. She's got Reagan McCowan. Actually, no, she doesn't. Just kidding. Yeah, no, she's hurt. Addie Brownfield is who I was looking at. She got Addie Brownfield, who is 40% 3-point shooter as well. I think it's just some of these shooters out in the mid majors, man. Like, that's what scares a lot of teams, and you see it on the men's side too. Is like those teams that can just get hot from three, those teams that just shoot the ball really well and make good decisions. It's hard to like speed up teams that run well and understand their offensive philosophy. Like, it's hard to do that. So North Carolina, they're on upset watch. I'm just gonna be honest. Then we got Taryn Barbeau. Shout out to my boy Bryce, CFC alum. She's back-to-back CAA Player of the Year. She averaged 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals this year. Shot 38% from the floor, 35% from 3, and 87% from the free throw line. Not terribly efficient from the floor, but 35% from 3 is pretty good. 87% from the free throw line is obviously very good. And this is another one of those situations where everyone knows who is the number one on the scout. You know, And as you get better and better, as you get better and better, teams focus on you more and more, and that's when your teammates have to step up. And their team's not a great 3-point shooting team around her. Her sister shoots 28% from the field. Tyja Bean shoots 26% from the field, or from three. Sorry, not from the field. So, like, if your top three scorers aren't phenomenal 3-point shooters, sometimes it's a little difficult to get your best player in better spots. But she finds ways to get what she gets to, obviously, because she's back-to-back player of the year in her conference. We got Hallie Polk, who's a really good player from Murray State, averages 22 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Shoots the 3-ball well. Shoots 35%, 82% from the free throw line, 43% from the field. 5'6", y'all know those 5'6", 5'8" guards, just super electric. When you think of like Georgia A. Moore, Aubrey Galvin this year, Becky Hammond in the past, like those smaller guards that you look at and you're like, I don't think they're gonna be able to. Rory Harmon, I don't know if they're gonna be able to hold up. At least on the offensive end, they're like some of the most entertaining players on the floor at all times. So, watch out for her in Murray State. Also Shernise Curry-Jelks also plays for Murray State. She averaged 17 and 11, and that could be a problem for Maryland. Obviously, Maryland went through a ton of injuries this year, so that could be an issue for them. Her being a really good rebounder, I think she's like 360-something rebounds this year. 402. So she had 360-something before the tournament, or at some point in the tournament. She finished the tournament with 402 rebounds this season. So, and she's coming from Iowa. She played at, Tennessee Martin her freshman year, and then 2 years at Iowa, and now Murray State in her junior year. So, she's seen, I don't say she's seen because she didn't play a lot in those games, but she at least practiced with some upper echelon talent. So it'll be interesting to see how she plays against a Maryland team. Lauren Whitaker, who I've mentioned a bunch, is a freshman, averages 19 and 10, is another post player that is able to shoot super efficiently from the floor. She shoots 55% from the floor, 37% from three, and shoots 80% from the free throw line. When you can get that from a post player, you really can't ask for much more. She's 1.3 steals per game. Probably want her to block a little bit more shots, but if she's a good defender at the rim, it doesn't really matter how many shots she's blocking, as long as she's deterring and getting the rebound. Wait a second. Alright, sorry. I had to respond to something real quick. But yes, Lauren Whitaker, I think, is going to have a really good game as well. They're playing Ole Miss. Obviously, Ole Miss is going to be one of those teams that's going to try to muck everything up. It's going to try to make things as difficult as possible for her, but her being able to do multiple things, not just needing the ball in the post. And sometimes that's what hurts post players. That's what hurts centers and power forwards in the tournament, is needing to score one way. She can shoot the three. She can shoot the mid-range. She can get the ball on a face-up and score. She can score in the post, obviously, as well. And then you've got shooters around her. Allie Turner shoots 46% from three. Taryn Gardner shoots 45% from three. And as Bencourt hasn't shot phenomenally from three this year, but I still trust her to be able to knock down a three if she's left open. So they have players around her that can shoot the three ball well, that will make it a little bit more difficult for you to leave her open, or leave them open to double her. So I am curious to see how the guards deal with the pressure of Ole Miss, and if they are able to negate that and still get the ball down to Lauren Whitaker. And then we have Kayla Morrow and Megan Anderson, both very electric guards. Both can score really well. Well, guard and forward. Some of these players, like, they play the guard, but they're a forward. Like, Megan Anderson is a forward, but she plays more guard. But she averaged 15 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block, 51% from the floor, 36% from the three, and then 83% from the free throw line. And then you have Katie Lamoro as well, who averaged 16 points again this year. Or, sorry, 17. Megan Anderson scored averaged 16. I don't know which one I was just looking at. Yeah, I must have been looking at a different year. 16 points per game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 44, 90, 40 splits, 40% from 3 for Megan Anderson. And then this year for Katie Lamoro is 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 46, 88, 36 shooting splits. The players around them are obviously going to have to step up and make plays as well, but I think them being the driving force is going to be really big for them. They play... I can't remember who they play. Notre Dame. They play Notre Dame, and I think I took them to win. So, looking forward to them stepping up and making plays. And some of these teams played each other throughout the year, so... And they play, good non-conference schedules most times. So it's not like these teams are just gonna see these players for the first time and be super starstruck or anything. It's just, are you gonna bring your best? Are you gonna bring your best that day? That's really what it comes down to. Are you gonna be yourself the day that you have to play whoever or whatever round it is? Are you gonna be able to play? Are you gonna be able to do what you do best? That's literally what it comes down to. Make free throws. Don't turn the ball over. Make your shots, get to your spots. Do what you do best. That's it. Obviously, there's other players that I could mention, but that would make this like an hour-long video. I want to get this out before the Richmond game starts, so I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what games what games you guys are excited for, what players you're excited to watch, and if there are any players that you haven't seen that you want to see in this tournament. Appreciate you guys for watching.